are seniors, bruh.
And this is my place.
The skate girls that we've been playing.
I'm also going to pan the room. Alright. So, as a young 10-year-old kid, I was very energetic, fun, and overall a good kid. Even though my family wasn't the richest, my parents found a way to make do with what they had and overall just provided me with a lot of things that other kids couldn't unfortunately get. Sadly, in 2013, around mid-October, my mother was my mother was having problems breathing and chest pains. Over time, it got worse and worse, and it was due to the large lump on the left side of her chest. For a long time, I was very sad and worried for my mom's health, and nothing could take my mind off of it until my dad gifted me with a PlayStation 4. Playing this console was the only thing that really took my mind off of the situation. I did have the Xbox at the time, but it didn't really give me the same comfort that my PlayStation did. Now, let's rewind to December 3rd of 1994. The world was shocked and amazed by Sony's new product called the PlayStation. 7 years after that, in 2001, Microsoft released their own console known as the Xbox. Through many years, these two companies released many gaming consoles, with each new console being more advanced than the last. They're responsible for the growth of gaming. According to Insider Intelligence, there are about 2.9 billion people worldwide who engage in digital games this year, whether it be via console, computer, or mobile device. Out of all the consoles, none come close to Sony's new PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X. They are the most popular because of their revolutionary hardware, games, and the company's long history and community that they have built over the years. With Sony's and Microsoft being the two companies who designed the most cherished, advanced, and popular consoles, people would naturally compare the two. So that's what I'm going to do today. I'm going to compare the UI, aka the user interface, hardware, and exclusive games to tell you why the PlayStation 5 is better than the Xbox Series X. At the time of this speech, both consoles have been released to the public for more than a year. And with it being 2021, the technology has greatly improved from the last consoles both companies have released. Even though the Xbox Series X has slightly better hardware in the console, the two are more or less similar. The controllers, on the other hand, are pieces of hardware that are totally different. There is no comparison between the newest Xbox controller, which only has vibration feedbacks in the triggers, and Sony's DualSense controller. This DualSense controller comes with incredible haptic feedback, which means the controller exerts forces, vibrations, and motions to the user, immersive experience, giving them a more immersive experience. The technology is shown mainly in the triggers located in the back of the controller. Unlike the Xbox Series X controller, the triggers on the DualSense controller are adaptive, meaning the triggers have different tension levels based on what you are doing in the game. Sony's new controller also includes a built-in speaker, microphone, and touchpad. All things that Microsoft lacks. Tom Reagan from TechRadar said in a 2021 article, the DualSense controller is an absolute joy to use, and we can't wait to see how the haptic feedback and adaptive triggers impact the future PlayStation games. To, while the haptic feedback in the DualSense controller is what puts Sony over Microsoft's, the games is what helps incorporate those feedbacks, specifically exclusive Sony games. Marshall Honoruff, who of which studies the history of science and tech, wrote, "The Xbox Series X assumes y'all pick up the controller or the same games you left off in the Xbox One and will want optimized performance across the board for all favorites. The PS5, The PS5, on the other hand, has a bevy of exclusive titles that launch alongside its new console. He later wrote, "It's hard to deny that the PS5 has more exclusive game selection just in terms of first party games. Sony's new and old beloved exclusive games such as God of War, Last of Us, Uncharted, Horizon Zero Dawn, and Ratchet and Clank seems to be preferred over the old Xbox games as in higher quality. Hardware and games are improved. Hardware and games are important components in making a good console game, but there's also one more huge element that goes into the overall experience, and that's the user interface, also known as the UI. The UI can be described as the main home screen of the console. Sony has the upper hand in this also due to its easy to use, intuitive, and streamlined design UI to create streamlined design in the PS5. Microsoft chose to go with a more menu-driven UI, many people, uh, which many people, I'm sorry. Microsoft chose to go with a more menu-driven UI, which many people say convolutes the home screen. It also has non-disposable ads, which is unnecessary and furthers the home screen. One other feature that Sony incorporated in the PS5's user interface is system level support. In a video published on YouTube on October of 2020, Kevin Kinson, a well-known video game reviewer, described the new level support to quote actually make the use of the UI to help you quickly get to things that you want to do in a specific game. Whether that's trying to address a specific challenge, launch a particular level, or even walkthroughs to help you find things that you haven't completed yet. End quote. Eventually, this feature will vary with even though this feature will vary game by game, it's safe to say that many first-party games will have creative things that you can do with this. Level support features okay, I'm sorry. In conclusion, many there may be some reasons as to why people would choose to purchase the Xbox Series X over the PS5, but with the info I provided to you, I hope you realize that those reasons don't come close to why you should buy a PlayStation 5. The advanced hardware of the controllers, the exclusive games, and the UI are all lean towards Sony having the better console. Ryan Dinsdale from IGN said in a 2022 article, the console also had a fantastic 2021, outselling the PS4 unit's first fiscal year, breaking the Nintendo Switch 33-month streak at the top of the U.S. hardware sales, and being the fastest selling console in the U.S. So take the chance with the PS5. It may help you bring the joy you've been missing for a long time. Yeah, I'm just gonna show my cards again.